The outro begins at 3 minutes and 56 seconds. This video will primarily analyze the bass fill that enters at 4 minutes and 4 seconds, shortly before the song ends. A tab sheet will briefly be displayed after its respective analysis. A quick once-through of guitars 1 and 2 will also be featured. A demo of all parts combined will close out the video. The tuning used in this video and on the record is E-flat in 440 wavelength calibration. If you're unsure how to tune E-flat, please watch the video E-flat Tuning and Enharmonic Notes for Guitar and Bass by Marc Wilson. The outro begins at 3 minutes and 56 seconds. The first 4 measures are actually just going to be the main riff played twice on the bass. The fill actually begins on the 5th measure of the outro. This is at 4 minutes and 4 seconds. Let's start out by placing the pinky on the G string at the 5th fret. The first 4 notes that we play here are going to be 8th notes counted 1 and 2 and with alternate picking. The 1 beat is this note where the pinky is picked down. The and beat after 1 is the first finger going to that same string at the 2nd fret. This is picked up. The 2 beat is the open G string picked down. And the and beat after 2 is the first finger going back to the G string at the 2nd fret picked up. On 3 we're going to have an 8th note rest. So with the 4 count lead in, this is what we have for the 5th measure so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, the last 3 notes are going to be 8th notes. We'll begin by picking the open G string on the and beat after 3. On the 4 beat, we're going to go with the first finger to the D string at the 2nd fret and pick this down. And on the and beat after 4, the final upbeat of the measure, we're going to pick the open D string upwards. So with a 4 count lead in, let's just play the 5th measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And now we've reached the 6th measure. We're going to begin the measure with an 8th note rest on 1. On the and beat after 1, we're going to place the first finger on the A string at the 3rd fret and pick this upwards. This is going to be an 8th note. Okay, on the 2 beat, we're going to pick the open A string downwards. This is an 8th note. On the and beat after 2, we're going to go with the middle finger to the 3rd fret on the E string and pick this up. This is another 8th note. The next 2 notes are going to be 8th notes counted 3 and picked down and up off of the open A string. With a 4 count lead in, let's play what we have so far for the 6th measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, on the 4 beat, we're going to place the middle finger back on the A string at the 3rd fret and pick this down. It's going to ring out as an 8th note. And the last 2 notes of the measure are going to be 16th notes counted and a. On the and beat, we're going to pick the open D string down. The beat is going to be the first finger hammering on to the 2nd fret of that same string. Okay, so with a 4 count lead in, let's play the 6th measure in sequence just one time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on. Let's run through the 5th and 6th measures in sequence just one time. I won't count aloud as I play. I'll just give you the 4 count lead in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure number 7 is going to be an exact repeat of measure number 5. Measure number 8 is going to be 2/4 time. What we have here is half of a measure. Okay, what we're going to do is take the first half of measure 6 and play it exactly the same way to give us measure 8. On measure 9, we go back to 4/4 time. We're going to pick the open A string downwards on 1, and that's a whole note which rings out for the remainder of the 9th measure. It will also be tied to the 10th, 11th, and 12th measures too. And that'll finish up our outro. So with a 4-count lead in, I'm going to play through all 12 measures of the outro just one time, but I won't count aloud as I do it. Just give you the 4-count lead in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as that final note is sustaining out, the drums are actually filling and soloing to end the song. This is the outro on the bass guitar. Notice the yellow highlight at the beginning of the first measure and at the end of the second measure. These repeat signs mean to play these 2 measures twice in sequence, equaling the first 4 measures of the outro. Also notice what appears to be the 8th measure on paper. There's also a repeat sign at the beginning and ending of that measure. We're going to let that note sustain out 3 times to finish up the outro. During this point, the drums are actually soloing and doing some fills to close out the song. And once again, the blank measure at the end of the tab sheet doesn't mean anything, so just ignore it. The guitars are pretty much going to play their respective main riffs throughout the outro. The only thing to point out is that the rhythm ends on an A5 chord and sustains out for 4 to 5 measures while the drums are filling to end the song. Here's a once through on guitar 1. I won't count aloud as I play, but will still give you a 4-count lead in. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is only one other detail to point out. Guitar 2 will only substitute in the additional C note on the first pass through the main riff during the outro. Here's a once through on guitar 2. I won't count aloud as I play, but will still give you a 4-count lead in. 1, 2, 3, 4.